Alright, we're about to go live in just a couple seconds, guys. Super exciting news to share today about what is going on later this year. So welcome everybody. This is Today in Crypto Show. My name is Vitaly Dubinin, founder and creator of Bitcoin's Walls Club, and we are covering the latest and greatest news that are happening in the Bitcoin crypto space. It never ever sleeps, and today I have super bullish, super exciting news to share with you about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general and where we are going. This is probably as big news as the Bitcoin ETF that might get approved later this year from the CBDC that will create a flood of billions of dollars into the crypto market this year. So super excited. First of all, let's look at the markets right now. We are $255 billion market capitalization currently. And as you can see, Bitcoin has recently, in the last couple hours, tanked by a couple $100. It traded about $7,090 right now. Ethereum $406, Ripple $0.43. So it's not as exciting to see a lot of red, but I'm going to assure you guys that don't look at the daily, fluctuations of plus couple $100 here, another couple $100 down. You may, if you are new to the crypto space, this kind of volatility, that's something that is regular. It is normal in the Bitcoin space, but you need to kind of zoom out and look at a bigger picture of where we are in the crypto space. Look at the overall positions, the news that are happening, the developments, and I'm telling you, it is highly bullish, and the smart money, the big money, is buying into crypto right now. So let's take a look at some of the bullish news that we have today. Well, this one, Northern Trust, is opening doors for crypto hedge funds. Now this company is huge. It has $10.7 trillion in assets that it manages, and it's a 100 years long company that is highly trusted in the market, is working with a lot of hedge funds, big hedge funds. I'm not talking about small hedge funds. You have to have a minimum of $1 billion in order to be considered to be working with the Northern Trust. Okay, and they're working with 3 crypto hedge funds companies that are investing into the Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is extremely bullish news because a lot of money will be flowing to the crypto markets when Northern Trust, a company of this caliber, is entering the space. And you can see Pete Cherishwich in an interview with Forbes, President of Corporate and Institutional Services of Northern Trust, confirmed that the shift is indeed taking place towards cryptocurrencies. You can take anything today. You can take movies rights, you can take all sorts of entities, and you can create a token for those. We have to be able to figure out how to hold those tokens, value those tokens, do those things. Okay, so that's really exciting. I do believe that governments will ultimately look at digitizing their currencies and having them trade kind of like a digital token, a token of the US dollars, but the US dollars will still be involved somewhere or backed by the government. How they're going to do that, I don't know, but I do believe they're going to get there. So, when people from companies like Northern Trust is talking about that, we are moving into this space where the world is embracing Bitcoin, and I believe Bitcoin will be the global cryptocurrency utilized everywhere in the future. So that's one piece of news that the markets will react towards that. And now another huge news, huge news. Bitcoin ETF might be possible with the BAKKT announcement. So this announcement that has been made by the owners of New York Stock Exchange, Intercontinental Exchange, ICE, okay, announced that they'll be partnering with Microsoft, the Boston Group, and the Starbucks and other firms to launch a market and ecosystem to list physically settled Bitcoin futures contracts for a new company to push Bitcoin and other digital assets toward becoming mainstream financial assets. So Why this is such a big news? Because you'll be able to go to Starbucks is a huge company, and go and pay for your coffee with crypto that you've been loaded into US dollar cards, right? So that will create more adoption, more mainstream towards Bitcoin, and it paves the way towards Bitcoin ETF. Because the reason why the Winklevoss brothers have the SEC has refused the ETF is because there was not a US exchange that has been regulated and licensed, you know. So now with this one coming from no other than the New York Stock Exchange, there's going to be a regulated exchange and licensed exchange that is coming. So that will put an infrastructure necessary for SEC to approve the Bitcoin ETF, right? And you know what's going to happen when Bitcoin ETF is going to be approved, right? It means in the US regulatory custody, when Bitcoin ETF will be approved, it will be easier for the huge institutional investors to come into space and invest into Bitcoin without ever holding a Bitcoin wallet, right? So that's really, really good and bullish news, you know. When people start going to Starbucks and ordering coffee with their with cryptocurrency, you know that we are making a huge progress towards it becoming mainstream, right? This is going to make it a lot easier for ETMs to come through. It's even better than Bitcoin futures. They're talking about getting this into 401ks, Schwab, Fidelity, TDA, Ameritrade account. You're going to be able to buy Bitcoin ETF, a Bitcoin mutual fund. It expands the universe, right? So we are undervalued as a cryptocurrency market right now at 255 billion. It will go to $1 trillion, you know, probably this year. It is undervalued. Bitcoin is undervalued right now. So those two huge news that are coming right now in this space. Now, another big news from Coinbase this time, that is launches crypto payment option plugin for millions of e-commerce during via WooCommerce plugin. So WooCommerce plugin is very, very popular, and one like third of the e-commerce stores are using this plugin, and you can integrate Coinbase payment button right into the WooCommerce. That will increase adoption again for Bitcoin a lot, because a lot of people are using plenty of different websites on the internet to purchase stuff, and they'll be able to utilize crypto payments with the help of Coinbase and this latest integration. So again, awesome news for Bitcoin adoption. Now, when you look at Bitcoin, you know, it's like the market doesn't like to give like more than 3 chances for Bitcoin. Like you've seen over here, if you take a look, you know, there was one dip here, there was another dip that happened here, so that was a time to buy, and another dip that happened here to 5,800. Now, if we are going to do like this, if we're going to break this level, it's going to go even further down. So I don't see this as happening, you know. I see it happen something like this, more volatile like this, and then goes beyond to like $40,000-$50,000 this year, right? But if we're going to break this again, I don't see the volume, frankly. In order to break this, you need to have a lot of volume coming from sellers, and I'm not seeing this type of volume is happening. The market is very bullish. More miners are entering the space. You know, it's getting tougher competition. They know what they're doing. The difficulty is increasing. So that's what I'm seeing for the future of Bitcoin. Now, another big news is we have OKEX. There is a huge platform with huge daily trades. They actually have a leverage trading available there in OKEX, and one Bitcoin whale did a huge bet on long position, meaning that he was going to long for Bitcoin going up in value and put like 4.5 million contracts, future contracts worth $416 million, which is huge. And then his position was liquidated, and they warned him, but he didn't listen. So now the other customers of OKEX have to pay out like $15 million or so to cover the losses with the way that the security system works. So when you are doing any kind of leverage trading, be careful, because it is quite risky to, as you can see, especially if you have like a lot of that you put inside of the trade, your position can be liquidated, whether Bitcoin is going up in value, long in Bitcoin or short in Bitcoin. Your position can be liquidated quite fast, and you can lose all of your money. But then other people are now paying for it, even though OKEX injected 2,500 Bitcoin into the market in order to mitigate the losses that others experiences. Now, another big news is Sequoia executives are saying that institutional investors are eyeing the cryptocurrency dance floor. This is another huge firm that are investing into digital assets. So they're saying that currently in US there is $400 million a day in trading that is happening, and we're seeing more and more clients, institutional investors, they're kind of eyeing the sector of cryptocurrency investments that are not really fully out, like played out and put a lot of money into it yet. So once that happens, we are definitely going to see crypto space blowing up from its 255 billion market cap that we are seeing right now. So those were the main news, I would say, for today. I've been traveling last week. I've been in Romania with my family, so I was kind of plugged off the internet and on what's going on in the markets. And I can tell you guys that this month and next month can be the turning points for Bitcoin and crypto. We're going to go on a bull rally, and now is the time to go and play full out with Bitcoin and really study the market and earn as many Bitcoin as it possibly can, and hold on to it until the next bull rally and sell it at a profit. So this is for today's In Crypto show. I'm going to see you guys in the next